art happens. You know when life changes out of nowhere or sometimes pre-planned and all of a sudden inside everything that you once knew can also change with it. Sometimes art just happens. Sitting in the studio right now is actually a young lady who went through exactly that. She changed countries, and I tell you, what has happened in her life shortly after is monumental. Welcome to the show, Gaia.
Hi, thanks for this introduction.
Hey, my pleasure to have you on the show. You're a well-celebrated artist. Here, let me, I gotta share with our audience something here, I tell you. Okay, so you grew up born in Paris. Oh, sorry, Paris was it you're born in?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. You graduated with our honors as an architect?
Yeah.
Yes. And then from there, you're now showing your art in Spain, Mexico, Canada, US, and France. You're sold in 80 stores across North America. You have 50 publications, and I'm not gonna. It's ridiculous what this lady has achieved in a very short period of time. How long have you been doing art?
I would say my first paintings exactly 10 years ago, 2004, I can't remember which painting it was, which is actually my logo. It's this woman that is wide open above the ocean, reaching for the stars and the moon. So basically it's saying it all. I think when I did that painting, I never realized where it was taking me. So it's really pretty symbolic of my journey.
So coming to Canada was a big change for you in your life. And how did that work, or how did it end up influencing you in art?
Well, the story is I met my husband in Morocco. We were both backpacking. We fell in love. I moved to Canada. We had a family. And we just both wanted to have a good life and be happy. And if you live the regular life, I'm sure you can be happy, but for us, it didn't work. So he quit his job. We had no idea what we were going to do. And then little by little, once we have this luxury of time for also have all the space for potential, for anything, for creativity to emerge. And we had so many business ideas and things come our way, and we kind of just rode life. And now those images also have emerged, and I've just jumped onto that, and it's working great. And the more I paint, the more ideas I have to paint more, and the more I contact people, and I find a little tribe around the world of people that are excited about what I'm excited to. So it's just like an awesome journey I feel it's just starting, even it's been 10 years.
Well, without further ado, let's look at some of your art right off the top. What's the first thing we have in store?
This is a painting. It's called World Peace, about uniting all religion and spirituality around the world for creating a better world.
And that's another extreme. Go ahead.
Well, I have two themes in my art. It's really about our connection with nature, which is going inside, reconnecting with our own true nature. And then, so the theme of nature, how it's taking us into our personal journey, and how is that will go into the world naturally for creating a better world around. So the more we all work at reconnecting with nature, because our society is extremely disconnected, which causes a lot of disease inside and outside. And this is basically the main theme of my work. And my life, that's called Equilibrium. So you can see 5 women trees around the planet.
So it seems you go from one geometric, so it's very circular in a way, and the other one's more real natural life. What correct? As in how?
Sure, it's a good way to describe what I do.
What spurred those two different styles in your?
Really, to tell you the truth, when I paint, I just paint what comes up. And it's only a few years ago that I realized, I have themes, I have stories that are unfolding. And once I pinpointed that, more images started to come out in each stories, and I just get more excited as I go. So I have this theme of the geometric shapes and symbolic images, really archetypal. They're talking about a lot of subject for the whole world. And then I always have those images that are a peaceful, simple connection with nature, of that little person with her red coat in nature.
You just got back about a month ago from Paris, because you had a showing there, correct? Yeah,
I had a solo exhibition, which I organized in a beautiful gallery right downtown Paris by the Contemporary Museum of Paris. And it was beyond my expectation, a great turnout. My big fear going there was that I would only have like my high school friends and my old uncles and family that just came because they don't care about my art, but just gonna want to be nice to me. But I did a lot of work networking, connecting media, just kind of finding my family over there, and the turnout at the opening. Actually, I was surprised how much of the people that I knew from my family and old friend didn't come, and I was just rejoiced to see that I'm invited there. I'm working on the new project I was telling you before with an editor in France, doing a deck of cards on the power of a woman's body. So I'll be certainly back in France doing more shows.
How did you do it? Okay, give us some secrets. Let's talk about a starving artist. Obviously, that's not true in your life. You're making great success of yourself. Is there some wisdom you can share?
Well, there is two things about. I think the key of success to me is gratitude. So if you go under the shower and you feel like this is luxury, to have clean water falling onto your body, like already you feel rich when you come back from the grocery store and you unload the groceries. That's how I feel in my life. So already it's pretty easy for me not to feel starving because I have so much gratitude for the little I have, although now I have more than I need, like I'm doing really well with what we do. So for the show in Paris, the secret for me is to realize it actually takes just as much work to put up a whole show frame, put them on the wall, contact the gallery, whether I do it here where I live or I do it across the ocean. A little bit more formalities and organization, but really at the end, it wasn't that much more work, but it was just, I feel the payback is just way more worth it. Like there was a big show in Toronto called the Artist Project. It's minimum $3,000 to exhibit there just to have a booth and the lighting. So I thought, man, $3,000, like it's $800 to fly to Paris. That leaves me $2,400 to, did I do the math correct? I don't think so. I'm an artist. I can have that an excuse. But it leaves me a lot of money, $2,200 to, frame, transport, do marketing and print posters and, I did it. I think it's way better than doing the Artist Project among 150 artists and having my own solo show of Paris. So that was my secret, just to realize, hey, actually I can do that. And I did.
How much time does it take? So for example, if I was in your shoes, obviously you're a very talented artist. You do beautiful work, stunning,
Thanks.
I must say. So let's say your art, I don't know, I'm going to ask you in a second how long one piece would take. But then you compare that to how much time are you spending doing business and connecting? And is it, let's say, 50-50? Is it?
That's a good question. And I've wrote article on my blog on that subject because it's so important. People don't realize, but when you're a professional artist, it's usually between artists that works really seriously at their career, that they'll spend a fourth of their time doing business. So on the computer, connecting, preparing application, preparing material, buffering your website, and writing articles, or connecting, and then 1/5 painting.
Okay. Okay. The blog, what is the URL? I'm sure we're going to bring that out at the bottom of the screen. Is it a long URL?
We can just put it under the screen.
Sweet.
That's okay.
And if we wanted to get a hold of you, how do we do so?
You go on my website. Yeah. I also have a Facebook, our facebook.com, Art by Gaia.
Excellent. We'll put that at the bottom of the screen as well. Let's get back into your art and some of the inspirations that you have. The next piece we have is?
She's called The Dragon and the Willow, and there's so much to say about that piece. There's a lot of detail. It's like a Chinese lithography with some Celtic weaves, and it's mending the symbolic of the dragon in a Western society, which is more representing our fears, and in the Eastern, the dragon represent holding the Tao, holding the wisdom. So here the girl has confronted her fears, and within that I found wisdom, and in the story of her life. She's a Mother Earth holding the planet within her womb. This is an ocean painting called The Eye of the Storm, and I have my person with sort of a red coat on the side, just enjoying the storm and coming.
Do you have reference material when you do those landscapes?
It depends. Actually, some of them come in dreams. Some are actually, like trees that I love, and I'm just painting them because I have that connection to them.
What is it
my imagination.
What is it you love most about what you do?
The lifestyle and the connection I make, the people that I would have never imagined or guessed, because At first, I just thought, well, I'll do my art. I'll see some people are making money, so might as well do that instead of doing something else. That sounds pretty cool. But then what happened is that when I show my art, I'm showing like who I am, right? Like from the inside out. So now I have people coming to me that are either doing the same thing in their life as a professional person. So they all have extraordinary lives that are really helping others and wanting to connect with what I do. So I work with so many people that are amazing. And also the people that relate with my art are coming, the heart open, just connecting with what I do. And it just, like, in life it's so difficult to find people that you can really relate to, connect with the heart, looking into each other's eyes. When I'm in my booth showing my art, probably 98% of people that come and talk to me, they reach me at that level. So can you imagine the gift? That's the biggest gift, for sure. Mm-hmm.
That's humbling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Okay, more art.
Well, that's my little girl. And it's funny because I was in France and my mom said, like, yeah, we kind of got it. Okay, she just like, okay, we know you crossed the Atlantic. And I never even thought I was like 10 years later after painting that painting. It's like, yeah, that's me. I went from France to Canada to find my freedom, reaching for the moons. And here I am. So she's also my logo. She's called Free. That's a phoenix with the power of transformation rising from the ashes. And another forest painting, she's at the bottom there hugging a tree. It's called Hug a Tree, with connection with the forest.
If we wanted to purchase your art, do you sell originals? Do you sell prints? How do we go about doing
Yeah,
so?
on my website, I sell prints. I have also created a line of jewelry that I make
Which you're wearing as well, I'm seeing.
Yeah, I have some earrings and leather cuffs that are made from recycled leather and eco-resin. And then I have shows with my original art. So just go on my website and see where I'm next. Moon ritual or trees, women celebrating the connection to the moon and the cycles. And this is a Nomads. They're nomad at dusk. They've been walking all day, carrying everything that they own, stopping around the fire. And what I love about that painting is just the idea of living and being able to carry everything that you own.
Your use of color in all of your art is outstanding. Mm-hmm. How do you see that? The contrast, the depth. How do you make your color selections?
I don't know how that comes, but it just comes. It's like I do my painting, and after I look at them all, it's like, this is really bright. So, yeah, I think it's like a big rainbow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm.
Are there any words of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience? Things that you've gained in your 10 years, things to look out for, watch out for?
Well, for me, really, the theme that seems to be always coming back with what I do is like living your dreams. I have children and they're almost like leaving the house now. And anybody that had children knows how fast it goes. Life goes fast. And like, why hold back? Like, what's the worst that can happen, especially in our society? Basically, if you were born in the Western world, you just won the human lottery. So, why bother with life of drudgery if you can just jump, across the ocean and go for your dreams, reach for the moon? That's kind of like my life theme, which I'm, manifesting and trying to anyway and going for. Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure and honor having you on the show.
Pleasure to be here, Damien.
You're in Aurelia. That's where you reside.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to see, do you have your own space where we can see your art in Aurelia?
Yeah, I mean, you can come to my home studio if you want. I used to do some studio tour, but since I'm doing international shows, I'm more focusing on that. So,
yeah. Pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks, Damien.
Okay. Sometimes art just happens. I tell you, it's happened in your life.
That's for sure.
See you at the next show.
Art Happens is brought to you in part by the Spalding School of Music, Backland Photography, the Land of the Blueberries, Bye.